You have to be okay with your friends disappointing you. You girls are the type that I can't get with. You wanting better for them is not gonna make them change. Hand in hand, your fingers placed in mine. The bond we share, it is truly one of a kind. I want your touch on me. I want your touch on me, baby. I crave intimacy. Want your love all over me. I know it's been a little minute, okay? I just did not know how to follow up the travel vlog because 8, okay? Like, those videos 8. So I was like, dang, what should I do next? But I have a great topic to just sit down and, like, talk about that's kind of in conjunction with the trip. A lot of people were like, how are you gonna go on a cruise with that many girls? All these girls on a trip that don't know each other, like, basically because people associate female friendships with drama. Like, for that group especially, it couldn't have been farther from the truth. And when people ask me, like, oh my god, like, how did y'all do that, or how is that gonna work, it was seamless. A lot of people don't know how to be good friends now. And, like, I'm not saying I'm a perfect friend by any means. There have been some friendships that, you know, I have done some things I shouldn't have done, and I've made mistakes in friendships as well. If you can't be around a group of cool women and, like, get along with people, like, we are way too old for that. I didn't invite anybody who I felt like doesn't get along with other girls. Like, you have to know that, because I had a friend like that. Like, she was cool as heck towards me, but towards other girls, it's like, oh, I don't really mess with girls. I only really hang with dudes because girls be too much drama. Red flag. That's the type of girl that you don't invite on a girls trip, period. Because she's cool towards you, but she obviously cannot get along with other women, and that says something about her. Don't invite people who you feel like, you know, always having problems with their friends, always falling out with friends, swear this is why I don't have friends. 9 times out of 10, the this is why I don't have friends person is typically the problem. Like, let's be real. I invited, like, people who knew each other or, like, had something in common. Like, Jazz, Trenyce, Brittany, and Bront, we all went to Skigi. So it's like, Brittany didn't hang out with Trenyce and Jazz. Those were my separate friends. But it's like, even if she didn't hang out with them, when we get there, they have that common experience. They have that, you know, common ground where they can both, well, they can all talk about Tuskegee, and, you know, they know a lot of the same people because we went to the same school. So even though they weren't friends there, it's like, oh yeah, well, I used to go to the CAF this day, and I know this person, I had class with that person. Like, you know, it's a way for them to connect, even though they weren't really, like, all close like that. I didn't invite anybody who didn't at least know 1 or 2 other people or have, like, that same common experience. Ooh, I cannot stress this enough. Ooh, I cannot stress this enough. You have to invite people who are go with the flow. There is a philosophy, I learned about it in school. It's called the utilitarian personality type. Utilitarian people, like, they want the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Those are the type of people that you can, like, bring around groups like that. You don't want to bring around, and when I say the greatest good for the greatest number, it's like, if 7 of us want pizza and there's 1 person who wants Mexican, now all 7 of us have to go get Mexican because of this 1 person. Like, you can't just be like, okay, I don't want that, but for the, you know, sake of everybody else wanting it, I'll, you know, accommodate. You want everybody to change what they want to make you, one sole individual, happy. Like, no, it's not that type of person in the girls trip group. Does not work. I feel like everybody was like that, and even if a person didn't want to do something, they had their part, like, you know, another person there with them. So, like, I remember when we went to the club the first night, Trenyce and Jazz were really tired, so they went to bed, and the rest of us went to the club, and they came, like, after they woke up from their nap. Like, stuff like that should be okay. It shouldn't be like, oh, why is Trenyce and Jazz leaving? Like, why are they not being with us? It's like, let people do what they want to do. Stop being so controlling. That type of stuff does not work in friendships, in girl groups, none of that. Like, let people be. So I was just writing down some friendship hard truths about friendship that I had to learn. Like, just coming up, I guess, in the earlier part of my 20s. I'm still in my 20s. I'm 26, but, you know, I feel a little seasoned now. When you want better for your friends, but they won't do better, like, you wanting better for them is not gonna make them change. Like, they have to want it for themselves, and it's no sense in you sitting there bashing them every chance you get. Like, you dumb, you this, you that, like, you need to do better. Sometimes just listen. Sometimes they want to vent about the bad decisions that they keep making, and sometimes it's okay to just let them. They know, like, you know, they know that they need to move on. They know that they deserve better. They know that they should be making better decisions. They know. So it's no point in you beating them over the head with it. All you have to do as a friend is be supportive and sit there and listen. Unless it's getting like way out of hand to where their health, their physical health and all of that is in danger, have your way. Like, do what you want to do. Like, you have to pray for them. You have to let God take them through what he's taking them through. Let God work on them. It's not your job to be their savior. It's not your job to criticize them and like condemn them. A lot of the energy that you spend wanting better for your friends, like the energy that you spend telling her she ain't this and she ain't that and she deserved this and she deserved that, she's better than this, a lot of that energy that you're putting towards them is the energy you could be putting towards yourself, because it's so easy to point out the log in another man's eye. That's the scripture. But it's not easy to see where you could, you know, be doing better, and can't nobody tell you nothing. Put that energy towards yourself so you can be an example to them. This one is hard too. They're all hard. You have to be okay with your friends disappointing you. You have to be okay with your friends disappointing you. First of all, we're human. We all unintentionally do things that may be, you know, hurtful to other people, and like, we make mistakes. We're not perfect friends. Nobody is a perfect friend. And if you ever expect to have like real long lasting friendships, you're going to be let down by your friends, and you're going to let your friends down as well. It wouldn't be love if your relationship was not at one point tested. There have been like long-term friends that I have had falling outs with. We stopped talking. The friendships that were real, we always came back. Always came back. It don't matter the length of time. It don't matter what happened, how messed up the situation was, who was at fault. If that friendship is real, it's always going to come back, period. And it's like, it'll come back in a way that brings you peace. Not it'll come back in a way where y'all still having the same problems, where this person is still making the same mistakes, or you still being spiteful towards this person, where you have resentment. Like, it'll come back in a way that brings you peace. It's just not realistic to expect them to always, like, you know, be getting everything right with you. Like, you don't even get everything right with you, so why would this other person? You just have to accept your friends for who they are. Like, choosing to love them even with their faults, that is like, first of all, that's the type of love that God gives us. Like, we are not by any means perfect. Like, I know God be like, bro, what do y'all be doing? And yet and still, as far as we drift away from him, he still loves us. So why you can't love your friend in their drifting? You have to accept people for who and where they are. Like, I got some friends that are in some undesirable situations, like by choice too. Like, by choice, you're choosing to stay in this, and even in them choosing to stay in that, it's all love. I'm not about to stop being your friend. I'm not about to be like, oh, well, this person lives this way and they put up with this and they don't have this, they don't have that. No, I'm still gonna be your friend because I'm choosing to love you as a person and not your circumstance. At the end of the day, it's your choice. Like, there are some people with some situations that are extremely harmful. Everybody's not your friend. Everybody's not graced and anointed to be your friend. So yeah, this, if you're doing dumb stuff that's putting my life in danger, or like putting me on a track, make bad decisions to be around you, then no, I'm not gonna be your friend. You choose what you can and cannot deal with in your friendships, just like you choose what you can and cannot deal with in relationships. I learned this before my 20s, but you have different friends for different things. Like, you have to know, this is why, oh, even in relationships, like, you have to know your friends' likes, you have to know their interests, you have to know their strengths, and you have to know their weaknesses. I used to be friends with this girl, and like, I was always there for her emotionally, always. She used to call me and she could, because I was that type of friend. Like, she could call me bawling, crying, and I would stop everything I was doing to talk to her. Like, it don't matter what it was. Like, I would always let her vent and get it out. Like, she used to be going through things, and I would just always be there to listen. I noticed that this friend made everything about herself, everything. So when it was my turn to be in shambles, and I was going through a lot, like, I was really, really hurt. I was like crying, like literally crying. She made it about herself. She made it about herself. She did not listen. She saw an opportunity for her to insert herself into a situation that didn't have anything to do with what I was actually like expressing to her. And I realized, like, when I was upset and I needed that like type of basically consoling, I would call her and, like, you know, try to talk to her about it, and it's like, oh, let me call you back, I'm gonna call you back, I'll talk to you later. And it's like, I wouldn't hear from her. But every time you needed me, I'm there. And we're not friends anymore just because, like, we're not friends anymore. This is not a friend that you can go to for emotional support. You are that for her. She is not that for you. And that's a hard pill to swallow, but the quicker you learn it and pivot, the easier it is to still be able to maintain the friendship. Everything don't need to be a beef or an issue. Sometimes it's just me observing some stuff and like pivoting, making a change. Couldn't go to her for emotional support. I had other friends I could go to for that. And like, when I needed that, I would go to them and get what I needed. A listening ear and, like, you know, some encouragement, some prayer, like, girl, it's gonna be all right. They have my back, you know, and she couldn't do that. So yeah, you have different friends for different things. Like, if I wanted to go get a drink and go get something to eat, yeah, I would call her and I would sit down and listen to her talk about herself for the 2 hours that were there. And that would just be it. And it's not a problem. Like, I don't mind listening to you talk. You know, I actually prefer that you carry the conversation, but you know, didn't work out, and that's fine too. This is the last and final part that I have in mind right now. I may do a part 2 if I think of some more. But just accepting that everybody shows love differently, and the way that you love your friends may not always be the same way that your friends are gonna love you. Like, I have a friend who is like one of my closest friends. We don't show love the same way. Like, I'm always doing the reaching out. I'm always doing the, hey, how are you? Just calling to check in on you. I don't feel no type of way that this isn't reciprocated. But I know people who would feel a type of way about that. Like, oh, I'm always the first one to reach out, or I'm always the one having to call and, you know, check on this person, and it's not reciprocated. It may be just because, like, I see love through a whole different lens just because of my relationship with God. Sometimes everything you do don't have to be reciprocated. Sometimes you should just do things because that's the heart that you have, and that person may really need that type of love extended to them, and they may not know how to give it back, and that's okay. You're doing it because that's how God created you to love. And you're doing it to show that person love because they genuinely, truly might need it. Like, it's not for you to get it back in satisfaction. Everything isn't always to be returned. Like, it doesn't bother me that this person doesn't show love the same way I do, because they have their own way of showing love. This person, yeah, doesn't always call and check up on me, but I know if I need this person, she will be there. I know if I need this person to defend me, she will have my back. I know that if I need to vent, if I need to cry, if I need to, you know, be emotional, that this person is a good outlet for me. Like, they make up for it in other ways, and you have to see that instead of being so stuck on, oh, well, I do this and she doesn't do that. It's like, okay, but what are the strengths? Like, let's not just look at the weaknesses, you know? Like, that may not be that person's love language. And if you are looking for it in return, that's fine, but maybe that person just isn't the friend for you, or you're not receiving of that person's heart towards you. And I didn't write this down, but let me just say this. You girls who will cut your friend off in 2.5 milliseconds over something that can simply be communicated, but will take little Ray Ray and little Quantavious back 250 times for cheating on you, lying to you, disrespecting your mama, disrespecting your daddy, stealing from you, all of this stuff. Like, you will forgive this man for putting you through hell, but let your friend do something. Let your friend make a mistake. Let your friend have a lapse in judgment. Let your friend do something that you don't like. They are cut off immediately. You girls are the type that I can't get with. I promise you. Like, you want to talk about coexisting? Those are the type of women I cannot coexist with. You will communicate with him. You will pay for therapy sessions. You will pay for counseling with him. But me and you can't go have a sit down and talk about a disagreement. I don't understand how y'all be giving niggas so many agains, but your friends can't get it again. That is like insane to me. I will never understand that. Your man more than likely is not cutting his friends off. Like, dudes love they homeboys. Like, love they homeboys. Half the time, men friendships are so easygoing because men don't even address their issues with their friends. You're gonna cut all your girlfriends off while your man still has like 6 or 7 friends. So when he's out hanging out with his boys, who you gonna hang out with? Quickly. Now you don't got no friends because you cut all of them off because you mad over something that they did in 2009. Girls be like, well, he's giving me something that y'all can't give me. He makes me feel a way that y'all can't make me feel. First of all, I need solitude. I'm a Gemini. I'm an only child. I need solitude. And I need space, but I also need time with my girls. It's stuff that women can bond over. It's stuff that women can, you know, talk about that you can't talk about with your man. And now, if he does start doing you wrong, you in solitude. You ain't even got nobody to turn to, and you're suffering in silence because you done cut all your homegirls off. That is so immature. And how are you gonna make a relationship with a man work if you don't have true problem solving skills, or you only apply it to the person that you want to apply it to? That to me is like a red flag. Like, that's so toxic. Like, you're willing to cut everybody off but me. Why? Like, I should be, if anything, that would make me love and respect you more, because now I know it's some conditions behind this. Like, I see I gotta treat you a certain way in order to keep you. Now I see you'll cut everybody off but me. So I feel like I could do whatever the hell I want to do. If you can't resolve conflict, can't do it. If you don't have grace for other people, can't do it. Like, no, that's, especially y'all who be in church every week. It's times I fell out with people and I miss them dearly. Like, my girlfriends, like, if we fall out, I'd be like, dang, I really miss this person. Like, I love this person. You know, if they would be open to talk, I'm willing to talk. And we sit down, we hash it out, and we good again. Like, that's the type of friendships that I love, you know? Like, not nobody that's like, oh, I'm gonna cut you off because I got Tyrone. Girl. Please. Yeah, that's my spiel on friendship. Moral of the story is, it's not hard. It is hard, I guess, to be a good friend. It takes a lot of work. Friendships are literally like relationships. They literally are relationships. Like, it's gonna take some work. But if you're willing to put it in, like, good friendships are, like, money can't buy them. They're priceless, literally. Like I said, like, I have friends that I grew up with since childhood. I have friends that, you know, I met later on in life, but you will feel like we've known each other forever. Like, that we just click. Like, and I can talk to them about things. Like, I can go to them for a laugh, or like, you know, for emotional support. I can go hang out with them and have fun, and I can also go get to a bag with them. Like, you know. So, moral of the story is, friendships are important. Know how to cultivate them. Know how to be a good friend, and don't be that girl who wouldn't get along with a group of 8 girls on a girls trip. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what y'all think about all of these lessons. Let me know what y'all agree with, what y'all don't agree with. And yeah, until next time, bye.